Welcome to Ken Reviews. I'm Ken, Mr. I'm Gonna Watch It, so you don't have to. And this is the review for Power Book 2, Season 4. You've got this far. Be like Tariq, move like a ghost, and hit the subscribe button. Come on. Let's discuss the final season of Power Book. Let's not stunt. It started well. We all loved it. We enjoyed it. It started very well. Then it dragged and it got ridiculous. The super genius Tariq takes us on another journey through his escapades where he escapes everything. My biggest issue, Michael Rainey Jr. and Gianni Paolo attempting to fill the shoes of Ghost and Tommy. The writers definitely seem to be striving for that same dynamic that them two had, but the chemistry here falls flat. As actors, they struggle to bring that grit and conviction needed for the roles as gangsters, making it hard to connect to these characters. Instead of stepping up to the plate, they come across as two guys out of their depth. Mikey Ealy's introduction brought hope for an intriguing villain arc. However, it quickly devolved into disappointment. His character started off with promise, but soon became one-dimensional and lacked the complexity needed to stand out. What could have been a high-stakes rivalry turned into a missed opportunity, and Ealy's villain felt far too easy to root against without any real threat. Then there's Mary J. Blige, Big Auntie Mary. Despite her character, Monet, having moments of likability, Auntie Mary's overacting at times was hard to watch. Even though she carries significant weight as a character, her performance often led into melodrama, detracting from the gravity of her scenes. The overall quality of this season took a huge nosedive. Bad CGI, particularly when it comes to the blood-splattered action scenes, cheapened the viewing experience. The reenactment of Ghost's death felt like a forced nod to the original series rather than an emotional high point. Power Book 2 Ghost has long carried the weight of its predecessor, Power, but this latest season felt like a shadow of what came before, trying too hard to recreate past success while failing to establish its own footing. One positive takeaway is the show's attempt to raise awareness towards sickle cell, which felt like a well thought out, intentional subplot amidst the chaos. However, it wasn't explored with the depth it deserved. Let's talk plots, because they shoehorned stuff that seemed like it was planned for like a season 5 or season 6. So stuff like Michael Ealy's wife. We have no idea who she is, why she had this whole significance, and it wasn't well explored. On the brighter side, characters like Kane, Andrew's heart-to-heart scene was one of the redeeming moments of this season. The depth of emotion and their strong acting brought a sense of authenticity that was sorely lacking elsewhere. For me, those were the two best actors in the whole show. Kane's dynamic with Noma added another interesting layer to the character, although even that was underdeveloped. It's like the writers weren't too sure how far they can push this relationship, leaving it hanging without much payoff. Then you have Diana's pregnancy storyline, which was brief and shallow, more like a short-lived soap opera drama than a meaningful arc. It came and went without leaving any impact. Then there's the endless betrayal and deception that's just ongoing with all characters. Effie's betrayal was a storyline that could have been a lot more compelling, but it bogged down with all these repetitive plot points. While the series has always thrived off this snake in the grass narrative, it became too much this season, making the twists feel forced rather than shocking. And talking about all these different plot points, you can see like there were plans to flesh out these characters, these stories. They just weren't given the time. They obviously also didn't feel like they could secure another home away from Stars or whoever they're with now. So they kind of just rushed it off and wrapped it up, which really hurt the season and also hurt the show overall. Monet's death, while one of the few dramatic highlights, felt like a fitting end for her character, dying for her children. But the show's increasingly predictable nature even dulled this whole big scene down. It dragged it down. The season's final moments were underwhelming, with a predictable and boring ending. Frankly, I was glad it ended exactly where it did. Power Book 2 Ghosts has had its moments, and we thank you for it. But this season is a far cry from its earlier potential. The show's attempts to recreate the magic of Power fell short, making it a season that's easy to forget. Were you happy to see the end of Power Book? Are you looking forward to the new creations with the prequels? Who was your favourite character in Power Book 2, Ghost? If you say Tariq, fire for you. Would you like to see them return to this universe soon or later? If you're enjoying these reviews, unlike this season, come through, hit the like, drop a comment, and subscribe. That way, let's discuss.